studio. We all want to create images that are memorable. So we'll pick our subjects and our expertise and the environment we're going to go out to, and we're going to work our craft to produce the best image that helps give our viewer our impression of that subject that we're out to go to get. We'll work our rear end off trying to get that image to be just perfect. And when shooting outdoors, we of course work with the outdoors light. We're working with the sun, the moon, the environment, the weather conditions, the time of year, the time of day. And that's how we end up doing is creating an image outdoors. When we go to the studio, we make our own universe. We create everything that is in front of the camera. So you can select your subject. You can do is to select the props. You can build the set. You can have assistants and set builders and makeup people to help you produce that image. But until you light it, it's nothing. So what we really want to do is to get around to looking at how you make an image from nothing. You walk into the studio, you start from scratch every shot. So let's take a look at some material we've been working on over the long period of time and make images. Make images with light that you control to make the image as perfect as you can make it. Your image is built around light. We all are aware that light is what we record, and whatever the light is hitting is what is being recorded. And whether it's subtractive lighting or additional lighting, that's what the image sensor or film is recording, and that is what the image is. It's the recording of light. So it doesn't matter whether the light's a continuous source like the sun, tungsten, LED, or whether it's an instantaneous source like strobes. Once you move into the studio, you're dealing with how you want to light it by whichever source you end up selecting. You can shoot natural light by the sun, by a window. Fine, a lot of people have been doing that for years. Painters did that forever by putting their subjects next to the window and using the light coming through the window to shape the scene. We have light. We have our subject, we've set our scene, and now we get to light it. And that's what's really fun about it, because at that point, once you turn on your first light, you start building your universe, your scene, the way you want it. So lighting comes down to what you want your subject and your photograph to be. You want it to be dark, you want it to be moody, you want it to be bright, you want it to be flat. How do you want to take your subject? Do you want to show the character of your model? Do you want to show the texture of the surface? Do you want that little highlight in the eye? Do you want everything so flat that it's just everything is there and no real dimension? Do you want something with a lot of dimension? How much depth do you want to portray it to? Do you want to separate it from the background? Yeah, so you're going to do is all these things are types of what you want to be the final image to be. So whether it's going to be front lighting, back lighting, side lighting, edge lighting, whether the light's going to be flat, soft, diffuse, are you going to add some color to the light? You're going to add some texture to the light? One of the things that you have to do is to look at what your subject is how best to present it for your own feel of what you want that image to be. How do you want your audience, your viewer, the subject to see what you're doing? How do you make that happen? And that is all with light. It's learning how to control and the light for modeling, texture, and give it dimension. And it's everything that's out there is all around the light, because that's what we record. Everything has to go around the light to record. So the next thing I want to do is learn your craft. And that sounds pretty lame, but there is a lot to that. And that first of all you have to do is know your tools, your cameras, your lenses, everything that you're going to do is use to make your shot. You have to learn, including the lighting. Now, lighting is, you've got a lot of choices with lighting. What type of light do you want to use? You want to use a bare bulb? Do you want to use a soft box on your things? Do you want to use a focus spotlight so you have very sharp edges? So learn all of the tools of the trade. And with lighting, it takes a lot of experimentation to learn what each one does. So highly recommend that you shoot, practice, shoot, experiment, do it again. Lighting is what does that. It helps create the texture, it helps create the shaping, it models the image so it becomes much more three-dimensional. And it helps define what the object is, the texture, and it comes down to it focuses your viewer on the very image that you're trying to take, so that's what they look at. They're not looking at an overall scene. They're looking at what you're directing them to, and you direct them to that by your lighting.